forget, but I can't get this thing out of my head. You probably think that you are better now, better now. You only say that cause I'm not around, not around. You know I never meant to let you down, let you down. But I gave you anything, but I gave you everything. You know I say that I am better now, better now. You only say that cause I'm
Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of the Secondary Lead Podcast, a baseball podcast presented by The Pinch Runner. I'm baseball YouTuber and writer for The Pinch Runner, Dawson Wright, and today, and as always, I'm joined by Noah Wright, who is also from The Pinch Runner. And Noah, today is very sad, again, because it has been said that Shohei Ohtani will undergo Tommy John surgery.
That's a real shame, because I was really looking forward to see him pitch and hit for a full season next year.
Yeah, but, I mean, we could kind of see this was coming eventually. So, what we do know is he won't be able to pitch until 2020 unless he,
something really miraculous happens.
Yeah, but he will probably hit next season. So
For part
it's
of next
not
season,
like
at least.
Yeah, it's not like he's going away, but this could still affect him like Tommy John has affected some pitchers in the past. Hopefully he doesn't lose much velocity, because it's Shohei Ohtani, and he's awesome, and everyone wants him to do great, because this is one of the best baseball stories around right now. But, so, yeah, Shohei Ohtani, hopefully, get better, and, we wish the best for you.
Yeah, one of the funniest, with the, two-way players and stuff like Ohtani, I think one of the funniest things, though, to come out of this season with two-way players is that Shohei Ohtani, Babe Ruth, and White Sox Matt Davidson are the only players to have double digits in home runs and multiple and 3 or more pitching appearances. So there's that.
Yeah,
I just wanted to add that on.
All right. Okay. So before I forget, we need to go over our inbox. We have an inbox now. So if you want to email us questions or
topics you want us to talk about.
Yeah, if there's something you want us to talk about on the show, then you could email us at thesecondaryleadpodcast@gmail.com. The Gmail will also be in the description, so email us. I'm probably going to answer it, to be honest. So, if you have any questions or anything, just email us there, and we will answer it on the next podcast, probably. All right. Okay, now into one of the strangest things that can still happen this year. There is a possibility for a 4-way tie in the National League.
When was the last time anything like that has happened? Did it say?
I have no idea.
I was looking at that. I was like, what would be the contingency plan then?
Okay, so the plan for a 4-way tie in the National League, it would have to go like this. The Brewers would have to go 1-4. The Dodgers would have to go 3-2. The Cardinals would have to go 4-1, and the Rockies would have to go 5-1. And
that's for just 4-way ties with the wild card, or divisions too.
Both, because so on Monday they would have it where there would be 2 tiebreaker games. The Rockies and Dodgers would play a game to determine the winner of the NL West. Okay, and then the Dodgers would host that game because they won the season series. Yes, and the Cardinals would play the Brewers to determine one NL wildcard spot. And because the other wildcard spot would go to either the loser of the NL West game. Okay. And then on Tuesday, Monday's losers would face each other to determine the other NL wildcard team.
Okay.
So it's really confusing.
And that's really convoluted.
But it would be really, really exciting.
What would happen? What would happen? Let's say the Pirates do really good, which I'm hoping, and the Cubs get thrown into this.
I don't know if the Cubs can get thrown into a 4-way tie. I don't
know. I mean, what if the Brewers do really good? The Pirates win this series, and the Brewers overtake the NL Central lead. So the Cubs.
There'd have to be a tie for the NL Central. Then
we'd have another tie to throw into this 4-way.
Shoot. Don't make it too complicated. I'm not betting on the Pirates doing good anyway.
We gotta go out. We gotta go out. We gotta go out. We gotta go out fighting. So we might as well.
Yeah, and the Dodgers do play the Giants as their last series of the year. So that's gonna be interesting. That should be pretty exciting because. I figured AT&T Park is going to be kind of packed, not only because it's the last series of the year, but
it's a Dodgers versus Giants game.
Yeah, and you might be able to knock the Dodgers out of the playoffs or force them into this really screwed up time. That's
kind of what the Pirates are trying to do right now. That's kind of my goal with the Pirates.
So if this happens, not only one, we get extra baseball. And two, we get more excitement because,
So could there be a game? So could there be a game 164, or would it go to game 163?
I think it would go to 163, right? Or wait, no, it would go
164 with some of them, right? Could there?
Let's see. Okay, so the tiebreaker games would be
We're going
Monday.
back into
this is still. Wait, yeah, the losing teams would go to game 164.
Oh, okay.
Oh my gosh, that would be the best thing to happen this season because
to play 164 games.
There was once a possibility earlier in the year of a legit possibility of an 8-way tie in the National League, which just would have been complete chaos. So, there's always next year for that.
There was a time in 1962 with a game 165. I'm looking at it now. 1962, it was, I think, the Angels. And I'm just looking at, the most games a player has played in one season. I can't tell who it is, but...
He played 165 in the
165 regular season games.
Wow. That's...
interesting.
Wait, in 62?
I think.
I don't know about 62. You might want to check on that.
I was looking here. I'll research it while you're talking.
Okay. All right. So, Noah researches for the 4-way tie, or not the 4-way tie, for the games played strangeness. All right. Ronald Acuna. He became the first MLB rookie to have at least 25 homers and 15 stolen bases in their rookie season since Mike Trout, which is really impressive, and it shows that Acuna, I don't know if he has the ability to be as good as Trout, because Trout is the greatest player on the planet, but he should win National League Rookie of the Year.
All right, I just want to chime back in. It was 165 games. They finished with a record of 102 and 63. And that finished second in the National League.
Second to who?
The Giants.
Yeah, I knew that. I knew that one. Dang, 165. That's insane. All right. Okay. So, do you think Acuna should win NL Rookie of the Year?
Yeah, I think even over Soto, because Soto, I think Soto overall is a better maybe offensive player, but Acuna's just as good as him but then he adds value with stolen bases and base running and defense. So I think that's why I would give it to him.
Yeah, I don't really think there's much contention.
Even if you think that he's a better hitter.
Yeah, you could throw Derek Rodriguez's name in there, but Acuna's just had one of the most insane years, for a rookie that we've seen in a long time. So, congrats on your award, Acuna. If it doesn't go to you, we're going to ride in the streets. Yeah, there's something wrong.
We're going to ride in the streets along with the pace of play.
Yep. All right. Okay, so I was in a live stream. I was in Fuzzy's live stream, and, they were doing he was doing a Q&A with his brother, and he was like, "Oh, do you think?" So I asked a question. I said, "Oh, do you think the Indians are lucky to get a playoff spot?" Right, because at that time the Rays had the same record as them, right? Are the Rays better? They might be
I'm
better.
looking at the standings right. I'm bringing up the standings right now, so I'll tell you in a second.
And So I asked him that question, and he's like, "Oh no, we're good and whatever, right?" And I was like, "Oh, okay."
All right, the Rays are 87 and 69, and the Indians are 88 and 68. So
okay, so it's like barely.
It's like extremely close, but barely.
Mm-hmm. All right, and I made a video on this, basically saying how like, oh, the Indians should be like the 5 seed. They should still be fighting for a playoff spot because they not only do they get to play in the Central, they get to play the worst competition in the league, but they have one of the worst records, and they don't have to play in the wild card game.
Yeah, and then there's Oakland, who's 90s, who's 5 games away from 100 wins, and they're gonna be stuck with a wild card spot, the second wild card spot too.
Yep, unless the Yankees just collapse in the last few games.
And the way it is right now, there could be 2 divisions in the American League with 2 teams with 100 or more wins, with the East being the Red Sox and Yankees, and the West being Houston and Oakland, since Oakland's only 5 games away, and I feel like Houston can win one more game this year.
Yeah, especially because they're playing the Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Woo. But... So then a lot of people are like, "Oh, why are you always hating on the Indians?" I don't hate the Indians.
I don't have anything against the Indians either.
Like, I don't hate the Indians. I hate the system where it's just like I don't.
This team's doing really good, but they're gonna be stuck with a wild card spot. I mean, and this team's doing really good, and they're gonna be stuck with a wild card spot.
We might be able to have it where if you like win the division, you're guaranteed a wild card spot minimum, because I just don't like that. A lot of people get to advance to the ALDS, when they're in the AL Central,
a division with no other team close to 500.
Yeah, like, and then they have the worst record out of all the playoff teams. I'm like, really? They need to get they should lose 5 wins for playing in the Central.
I don't think some fans would be happy with that.
Oh yeah, of course they wouldn't. See, but all the Indian fans, they're saying nothing now, right? But then when all the teams rebuild and get good in a few years,
when Minnesota comes back next year and Detroit eventually gets good,
and
the White Sox finally get all their prospects good,
and the Royals finish their rebuild in about 5 years and their division's path, they're gonna be like, "Oh, this isn't fair," and I'm gonna be like, "Hey."
That's not what you said a few years ago.
Yeah, what about 2018 or 27? I mean, the Twins were. I mean, okay, 2017 they were good. 2016 they were good. This year they're still a good team.
The Twins?
I'm not saying they're bad.
Who are you talking?
No, the Indians.
I think you said the Twins. I thought, okay.
Oh, okay. But they're having a underachieving year. I mean,
yeah.
It's pretty simple, so they shouldn't. I really don't think they should just be in the playoffs at all. I mean, I think they're a talented team, and when they're good, they should do damage. But their regular season record speech.
I would like to see their record in the National League East and outside the National League East, and then judge it on that.
I want to see their record in the NL West. Replace them with the Padres and see what happens. They would not be anywhere close. I can guarantee it.
Yeah,
my guess is they would finish 4th.
The Indians get a free pass with holes on their team because of the division they're in.
Yeah, so
they just gotta be. They have to be. They could actually just be a game above 500. They don't even have to be above 500 this year actually to win that division.
Yeah, and then a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's just baseball," and I'm like, "Well, that sucks. Can we change it, please?
Or look over it, revise it, do something."
Yeah, I think they should just have the seeding based off record. And if you win your division, you're guaranteed a wild card spot at minimum. Because most of the time, because that way they still get the wild card spot. But the problem is owners would never go for it. So
especially if you're someone like the Indians owners, GMs, stuff like that.
Yeah, but they're gonna be praying in 5 years. So.
We'll see.
Well, we'll see. I mean, hey, Manfred, I know we've had our differences in the past, but I think this is a problem that we all see. We're all looking at it and we're like, "Oh, this is a problem. Can we I don't know. Manfred probably doesn't care. He's just, worried about his precious plots. All right. So, the Astros clinch a playoff spot. like Noah said earlier, but the A's can still take it.
Yeah, they're 4.5 behind, and that would be fun. Wouldn't that be fun if like the Astros just go like lose these last 2 series and the A's just sweep the next 2 series they have and just take the division?
I mean, yeah, I don't know how I feel about the Astros now because they're traitors. They left us and had us stuck with the Nationals now. So now I get to watch the Nationals not really so good farm system play for the next 2 years. So, that's...
Rip
yeah.
you.
It's not going to be very fun at all. But, I mean, technically, it's still possible, I guess. But Houston does have a 2-1 lead on the Blue Jays right now. And isn't it just if they win, they get the division, pretty much?
I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
So, I think it's pretty set that they should get the division.
Yeah.
No problem, really. All right. Okay. You want to talk some Bryce Harper?
Yeah, why not?
All right. So, Bryce Harper played first base for
he didn't even
how
play.
long? I mean,
he was for 1 batter, not even for an out, not even to qualify for a third base, but 1 batter.
1 batter. He played first base for a batter. So,
but
that was interesting.
He did say, if you did remember, I think he said earlier this year that he'd be willing to move to try out first base.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of, why not try it? Because he's been so bad defensively in the outfield this year. He's been worth -3 defensive WAR.
Yeah. You want to bring up your favorite stat?
Yeah.
ERS?
-25 defensive runs saved in both right field and center field. Between those two.
Yeah, that's not very good at all. But, I mean, you and I have had our disagreements in the past on DRS, but, I mean...
When it gets that high, I think there should be something to look at.
And defensive WAR, no. It's not good. He has 1 outfield assist from center field all year.
It's only from center field, unless that changed, like, the last 2 days.
Yeah, I haven't seen a flip, so I don't think it has. So, yeah, he's open to trying first, and that'd be really weird having him play first base.
Yeah.
He should play catcher. He should go to the Yankees and replace Gary Sanchez.
So he couldn't be worse than Gary Sanchez blocking.
Yeah, true. See? There you go. I bet money he's better blocking.
He played catcher in high school.
Put him in catcher right now.
See how
I want to see who's better at blocking.
He can't do worse than Gary Sanchez in blocking a ball.
Oh my god.
If we did talk about this last podcast with Gary Sanchez blocking, I was looking on MLB trade rumors, and they were talking about Gary Sanchez, and someone in the comments said, Gary Sanchez is like an overall not that bad catcher. He's just not very good at catching, at like blocking. And someone said, that'd be like if you said, that NASCAR driver isn't that bad. He just sucks at driving.
I saw a tweet like that where it was like, oh, Gary Sanchez would be really good at catching if he could catch. I mean, it's true. It's true. Okay. But, so, I think I saw some clips of him taking grounders that first 2. I mean, it's kind of like, it's the end of the year.
Yeah.
Screw around
I think that was earlier in the year, like July-ish.
Yeah. Okay, so, this could be some sort of ties to the Yankees, maybe?
Because that's going to affect his market, and the Yankees kind of need a first baseman.
Yeah, Greg Bird has been consistent. So.
Greg Bird's been injured and inconsistent, and then who knows if Luke Voigt's going to actually carry over this production. I don't think Luke Voigt's going to carry over this production he's had for like 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they got Neil Walker. Neil Walker's been killing it. I mean, Neil Walker.
Neil Walker's become their utility man.
Dude, I was at when I was at the game in Angels Stadium. It was Angels versus Yankees Sunday Night Baseball.
Yeah.
There was these Yankees fans that were sitting behind me, and all they did, like the entire game, was trash on Neil Walker.
Oh,
and I don't know. They just thought he was like. You know how I think of Gary Sanchez? That's how they thought
Neil
of
Walker
Neil Walker
tries.
And then...
but Neil Walker will actually try. He will do bad, but he will put effort into it. And that's the important part.
Since then, all I've heard is Neil Walker having, like, all these big, at-bats for the Yankees.
And then he had a walk-off home run a few days ago.
Yeah.
And I think he also, almost robbed one. Or he did rob one.
Oh, my gosh. I don't know why that's, stuck in my mind, but it has. But so Harper could go play for the Yankees, but it did come out today
be interesting
that Harper might stay with the Nationals if they give him that money, right? Because he said that DC is like what he knows or something. Like DC is what he knows.
You know you would do good in Yankee Stadium. Stop trying to make us feel better.
And then it's like, oh, I don't know what it's like playing for the Dodgers. I don't know what it's like playing for the Yankees. That's basically what he said.
You know that you're gonna do good in Yankee Stadium.
You know, if there was a team in Vegas, he would sign there. I guarantee it. No matter how bad they are, I guarantee it because that's what he knows.
As an extent, that would be really fun to see an extension team or an expansion team in the West with Vegas, and then it's like first player they signed, Bryce Harper.
Yeah, I know. It's a shame that the Vegas AAA team, the 51s, I think they were talking about changing their name, but I don't know if they are anymore. But okay, so the 51s who they got a new stadium, which also means they have a better stadium than their major league affiliate, the A's. So so that's pretty fun. But yeah, so they just got a new stadium, so I don't think we'll see an expansion team in Vegas soon, really. I mean, we'll see. It should be interesting, but yeah.
I was looking up where Walker robs the home run after you brought that up.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he actually he came. I don't think if he let it go, it would have bounced off the top of the wall. Maybe it would have went over, but it was really close. Still though, for a guy that's never played right field too often, it was a pretty good catch.
I think you're just saying that because he's on the Pirates.
How about no? Because I'm right.
I mean, yeah, you're kind of right. I'll give you that. All right, so yeah, Bryce Harper could just be pranking all of us for when he signs with the Yankees for like $400 million, or he could be serious about this and he might stay in DC, which brings up a few interesting possibilities for what the Nationals will do, because it looks like to me after this second half and after the home run derby, it looks like to me that he is going to get the highest contract in baseball history, or in sports history.
You really think you think that he's still going to get a higher contract over Machado?
Yes.
Even though Machado's been way more consistent than Harper throughout his career.
Yeah, you know why?
Why?
Harper's a bigger star than Machado is.
That's true.
And he has better hair. Machado's hair is terrible. I just want to say that.
Like, Machado's a more consistent player. I don't care about his hair.
Well, he has bad hair. Oh, the Astros just scored. All right. Well, there go the A's. Did chances of winning the division. We all know the Blue Jays aren't coming back. Okay. So, but dude, like, okay, Machado, when his head isn't shaved, it looks terrible.
I've never seen him without his. Well, I've seen it a few times. I've seen him with his hat a few times, without his cap a few times, but not really.
Google it right now, Manny Machado's hair, because it's like long and straight, and it's really ugly. it's so bad. It's so bad. But okay, seriously, Bryce Harper is a bigger star than Manny Machado. Like, when you think of the face of baseball, probably the first name to come to mind to me is Bryce Harper, then like Trout, then I don't know. I have to go down the list a while before I see Manny Machado. Even though he's in LA now, I don't really think that's done much. All right, have you seen his hair?
Yeah, it's
it's bad, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It's not very good.
See, I told you it wasn't good.
But that might be the worst. Do you think even if Machado's willing to move back to third base, because we all know that he's much better at third base and shortstop, you still think even then he's not going to get as much as Harper?
It really depends on the teams, because Harper might give the Nationals a discount if he goes back to the Nationals, because he's trying to win. You think the Nationals, though, do you think he'll accept like a long-term deal, or do you think it's like, give me a 5-year deal and I'll stay? He's probably not doing 5. I bet he's going to sign doing like minimum 8. All right. Minimum. All right. I was thinking, like, even with the Nationals, like, since they've been so inconsistent with their
playoff track record and stuff, I thought maybe that with that hometown discount, they'd have to take off a few years.
Yeah, but well, I mean, years is more the player thing, really.
Yeah,
because the players want to be secure, and he'd probably throw in a no trade clause as well, is my guess, to wherever he goes.
Yeah,
because you're getting older. Players want to have families, and they want to know that they don't have to leave.
Yeah.
Right? Because Harper's already married, so I don't know if his wife plans on having kids or not, but we'll see. Okay, where do you think Harper's going? I still think the Yankees,
You still
honestly.
think the Yankees?
I don't know why, but I do.
I don't know if he'll go here, but I definitely know one team that's going to pursue him a lot is going to be the Phillies.
Wait. I think I know who.
Who?
Baltimore Orioles.
I know. Okay,
but
I know one team that's really gonna pursue him is gonna be the Phillies. I'm not gonna. I'm not 100% sure if he'll land there, but he's definitely gonna be. But they're definitely gonna go after him.
Phillies could get Harper and Machado.
I think they're gonna definitely get Machado. That's where I have Machado going.
Yeah, me too. They look like the favorite to land him. All right, well, enough about the Yankees, because apparently I talk about the Yankees too much, according to my fans. All right, so let's get into a little San Francisco Giants, because Bobby Evans was fired as GM, and I was celebrating. I had a huge party for it. I was hyped. Once I saw the news, I shared as many celebration gifts as I could, because Bobby Evans was terrible. I mean, okay, he was a decent exec. He's been around with the Giants since 1994, so, I mean, props for him for staying loyal and working his way up the system. But as a GM, almost every single move he made, I disagreed with. On the spot.
Okay.
On the spot.
Okay, Cueto contract. Why'd you disagree with that one?
Okay, I said almost.
Okay.
Not everyone.
Okay, Melanson. Okay, Melanson was the one I really want to go over, because you say that was a bad decision, but at the time I think it wasn't a bad decision.
I do, because
at the time, over that offseason, you think it's a bad decision. Why?
Yes, because I think there was different relievers that they could have gotten, like I don't know, Yusmeiro Petit.
Yusmeiro Petit isn't a closer.
I don't need a closer. I need a reliever. I don't like bullpens when there's like a set closer, because it kind of throws everything else off. Like I like it where it's just, hey, you're ready to pitch, go in, because I don't think you necessarily need someone that always comes in the ninth, because then the other team's expecting it, and I don't know. I just never saw structuring bullpens that way.
So you don't think? I think the main reason they signed Melanson was because of that bullpen collapse in the playoffs.
Well, yeah, that's clear as day, but that doesn't mean as a GM you could have a knee-jerk reaction and give a guy 5 years to pitch 1 inning and give him a full no-trade clause.
Okay, the full no-trade clause, I'll admit that's probably not great, because now you can't...
Probably not great. No, it's stupid. It's completely stupid.
At the time, I think it wasn't a bad deal. You needed a guy that you could rely on to get you through that 9th inning. You need that kind of guy.
I do. That's true. I'll admit that, but I think it's better to get multiple relievers instead of just one.
Okay, I can agree with that.
you're putting all your eggs in one basket.
Okay. Besides him, Jansen and Chapman were the big three on the market for relief pitchers. There was not very many other guys that you could rely on to get you through that 9th inning on the market.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's why trades are a thing. But there's something else. There has to be something else that was better than that at the time. Like, I could look into it, and we can. We could discuss it on the next podcast if we want to continue this conversation. But that contract's just not. It's not good. It's
not
good
anymore. I think it's not good anymore.
Right now, you could look back and be like, the Cueto deal wasn't that good. I mean, Cueto, when healthy, is really good.
Yeah.
And you can't predict injuries like that. Like, you can't predict Melanson's injury. That's not why I'm saying, I wouldn't sign that contract. I'm saying it because full no trade clause.
You signed him. I mean, he's not doing bad this year, but he's getting paid $20 million this year. That's for a guy that has a 3.25 ERA. Like $20 million, maybe for the closer that he was between 2013 and 2016, where he produced an ERA below 2, all except for 2015, but that was still a 2.23 ERA year for him, and he led the league in saves. But this year has probably been the worst year of that contract because he's getting paid $20 million. The first year he's paid $9 million, and then the last 2 years are paid $14 million.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's not the worst contract, and it's nowhere close because the worst contract is Jeff Samardzija.
Yeah, that did not look great when it was signed.
I was like, what are we doing? I get the Cueto one, but I was like, this is what
he shouldn't have been given more than 3 years, but he was given 5, right?
Yep.
And it was weird because it was after a year where he had a 4.96 ERA.
You can't. You and I talked about this a little bit before we started recording, but you can't give a guy I don't like 5-year contracts. Unless, it's like a Clayton Kershaw, Madison Bumgarner, Severino type guy. Where they're like a
ace. Like
ace. like a star player. Like a star pitcher like that.
A proven ace guy.
Yes. Because you can't Samardzija was the 3 starter. What? And he's had years where, he's up there. You can't, and, I'm okay with giving 5-year contracts also to pitchers who are consistent. That have had, 3.2, ERA-ish around there.
If Samardzija would consistently post ERAs similar to what he did in his first year with the Giants, then it's more understandable. But 5 years for a guy that, he had a 4.34 ERA in 2013. Then he had 2.99 ERA in 2014. Then in 2015, he had a 4.96 ERA with the White Sox.
If they have multiple years over 4, no. Absolutely not. That you can't do that. And Samardzija's a free agent now after in 2021 he's a free agent. Oh my gosh. It's just I know
he's gonna be paid almost $20 million next year.
Yeah,
and it's paid $20 million the last 2 years.
And then the worst trade he made, he traded Matt Duffy for Matt Moore. When the real problem was relief pitching, he traded for Matt Moore. He traded one of our better bench bats for Matt Moore.
Would he even be considered a bench bat though at the time of the trade?
Yes. Well, he was like.
Who was your other option at third base? It was Connor Gillespie.
Connor Gillespie, hey, Connor. Don't you dare talk about Connor Gillespie, okay? Connor Gillespie's the GOAT, okay? Remember that 1 year he had with the White Sox where he hit over 300?
He never hit over 300 because I'm looking at his stats right now.
No. Yes, he did.
No, he didn't. He batted his highest batting average was in 2014 when he played 103 games, had 506 plate appearances, and his batting average was 282.
That might have been that year. I remember there was some year where he started off 324.
That might have been that year, but he didn't end with that.
It was with the White Sox, right?
Yeah, 2014.
Yeah. Yep. Because it's just, but Matt Duffy for Matt Moore, really? You didn't really. Oh my god!
That was one that was a bit questionable because I remember the year before. I think you started out 2015. You started out by getting Casey McGee at third base.
Yeah. Because Sandoval left and went to the Red Sox.
And then you went and got McGee, who did do good the year before, and then he failed. So then Matt Duffy took over, almost won Rookie of the Year. And then you traded him the next year. I thought that was weird when that trade happened. You gave up on him that quickly. At least he can play other positions. So if he was having a bad year that year, you could give him another shot somewhere else. Maybe bench him make him a bench player for the rest of the year.
at that time, third base was like a pretty big hole for us. You know,
it's still a hole, kind of.
I mean, we have Longo now on a big contract.
Who's not performing for that big contract? Let's just trade away
Christian Arroyo. Here, have him. We want the Longo contract. Give it to us. Here we go. Yeah, here. We don't want to have any money for the best free agent class in like MLB history. No, we don't want any money. We don't want to have cap space. Like, oh my gosh. Like, come on, man. Like, they didn't set themselves up for free agency well. I mean, the Marlins thing, first they tried to get Stanton, which was, it would have been exciting, like, because I was excited about it. Yeah, because, you know, Stanton hits dingers. And
Stanton is Stanton's.
Yeah, but, and then they go after Yelich, and they won't give up Ramos for Yelich, which is stupid.
Why? I don't understand why you wouldn't give up a top prospect. Like, I understand you don't want to give up a top prospect for, like, an older guy, but Yelich, he's still, like, 27 or something. He's got a lot of good years left.
I know. And then, so you don't get Yelich, like I told them to, but just saying. I said get Yelich. I said get, Tony Watson. They did get Tony Watson, but that contract was clear as day. And Tony Watson's been really good for them. You're welcome. But I said get Yelich, and then they go after Ozuna, and then the Marlins are like, oh, you know, we still want your top prospects, and they're all like, no. And I'm like, it's Ozuna. I mean, Ozuna isn't the kind of guy. He's not as good as Yelich. That's clear. But Yelich should win MVP this year. And that,
yeah. Well, Yelich wasn't as well, or not Arroyo. Ozuna was better than Yelich that year, so maybe that's why they were so high on him. But still,
yeah. Oh man, I'm frustrated, man. I'm upset because a lot of the moves they made were just like it was. I get it. Get a lot of veterans. It was fun because, you know, I grew up watching guys like Evan Longoria, Andrew McCutchen, right?
Yeah.
You know, but it's just on the inside. I'm like, we have no young talent, at all. Well, I mean, you know, then Derek Rodriguez and Andy Suarez came out of nowhere, so at least we have them.
At least,
I'm sure we'll trade them for like Bartolo Colon or something. I don't know, because we like trading for old players now. Apparently that's what we do. But it's frustrating. But
you gave us Kyle Crick at least.
Oh yeah, you're welcome.
I still would like McCutchen though.
He was one of our best relievers. Hey, you could try and get McCutchen in free agency.
Yay.
But the Giants are moving in the analytical direction. It looks like they're hiring someone. It looks like they're hiring someone younger and more analytical, because they're pretty old-fashioned. I don't think they're going to be as hands-on as some teams where they're all like, oh, here, Bruce Bochy, there's your lineup. Because Bruce Bochy would, you know, he'd be like, no, I'm making the lineup. Who do you think you are, right? Because that's just kind of how Bruce Bochy is. But, yeah, I don't know. I just want the Giants to be good again in a few years. If not, I'll just
at least you
would.
At least you had some. Bandwagon. You should have traded Derek Holland at the deadline.
To who?
He could have been traded probably to the A's for something. A's have a pretty good farm. That's one thing you should have done. Derek Holland. He's actually been really good on a minor league deal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we could have found somewhere for him, but I don't know. After McCutchen, we're just like, we're good. No thanks. So, it should be an interesting next few years. I'm really interested to see if they go after someone this offseason, like a Harper or a
maybe
Machado. But don't get Machado. His hair is just terrible.
But you wouldn't be happy over Machado even with the hair or not?
No, I don't like Manny Machado.
Why?
He's not very nice. It's the best way I could say it. I don't know. I just don't like his character at all. I don't think it's a good fit.
Yeah,
I mean, Harper has better character, and Harper's characters... Harper's gotten better as he's gotten older.
Yeah, but still...
Manny Machado's gotten a little better, but I'll never forget when Josh Donaldson tagged him, and then he tried to throw a bat at him. I'm like, what? Like...
I remember that. He like, tagged him, and they, like, said they tagged him too hard. It's like, what?
Dude, he was trying
He tagged you too hard.
Like, what do you mean? Yeah, he, like, fell over, like, slammed his helmet and tried to fight him, and then the next day, like Donaldson wasn't playing, I don't think, so he just, like, threw his bat...
At the pitcher?
He tried to throw it in the direction of third base, and then he's like, oh, it slipped. I'm like, yeah, right, man. Like, oh my gosh, give me a break. And then, you know, him fighting with Ventura, and it's just... it's a lot. It's a lot. But, okay, so, for our last topic of the day, we need to get into some runner interference, because Brad Ziegler, I think it's Ziegler. Ziegler, okay. He tweeted about a slide by Charlie Blackmon that he thought broke the double play slide rule. He said, I rarely tweet about baseball, and I typically try to avoid controversy, but what in the world were the umpires looking at in the replay room in NY? Below is the rule copied straight from MLB.com with the relevant parts underlined, and the relevant parts he underlined was, if a runner intentionally initiates or attempts to initiate contact with the fielder by elevating his legs or throwing his arms in upper body to make contact. Yeah. All right, I've looked at this play a few times. I've tried and done as much analysis as I could, and I don't think this breaks the rules.
I have, though, seen this called before where the rule is with you cannot intentionally go out of your base path to try an attack. And he says how he goes out of the baseline to try and go after the second baseman. Mm-hmm. And I have seen that called before on plays.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But
I mean, also, if we can we show the pictures that he put on his Twitter?
Yes. I'll show the pictures he put on his Twitter. But, okay, so you can see Blackmon, he's sliding in, and he kind of moves from the direction that he was in. He brings some really weird camera angles into these photos, but he, like, changes directions from he's in to try and break up the double play, and he puts his hands, like, straight up in the air. Like straight in the air. Like, he's not...
It looks goofy from the picture.
I know. They're not going forward, but they're just straight up in the air because he's trying to block... I don't know, he's trying to, like, get in his way. I don't think he's trying to make contact, really, like, with his hands, because it kind of looks like he's just, I don't know, hands up in the air, sliding into the base. Which, I'm like, really? We're complaining about this now.
And I'll bring something up. A few years ago, the Pirates were playing the Diamondbacks, and this cost the Pirates the game. And it was when Ziegler was on the team, the Diamondbacks broke up a play in a very similar fashion, where one of their players threw up their hands. The ball was hit out of the air, and no sort of runner interference was called on that. So,
Yep. But it's just... I don't know. I'm tired of it. Like I suggest if you haven't seen the play, you look at it. We'll show you guys a few of the pictures, but
that he posted on his Instagram.
Yeah, but the play is just Twitter. But I don't know. Does anyone care? Because I don't think he would have made the play anyway. If you see the throw after, he probably would have been safe anyway. And I don't know. He didn't chase Utley barrel roll into him, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, they're like, oh, even if he doesn't make contact, he can't deviate from his original path to second base.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. What I've seen.
But before. he's still sliding towards the base. He's still going towards the base.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, his left foot...
It's not out of the baseline.
Like, his left foot moves a little bit. You can see his left foot move a little bit towards that direction, but It doesn't look that bad because I don't think he ever touched him anyway. I'm just tired of it.
Oh, here I like this. He replied to someone. He intentionally throws his arms in the air and makes contact with Ahmed's left shoulder. You can see Nick's sleeve move as a result.
Whoa!
It wasn't even his throwing arm moved. Either.
Oh my gosh!
And it wasn't even his throwing hand either.
Call the press, everybody.
Although he did
Nick
kind of throw out
his moved.
But and it wasn't even his throwing hand, but he did kind of throw his leg out to try and hit his legs. Yeah.
That's what I was talking about earlier with his left leg. But really, okay, if they called it because of his left leg, I guess. But for him putting his arms in the air, because part of this was him complaining about his putting his arms straight up in the air. He's not trying to push Ahmed over. He doesn't touch Ahmed with his arms, but he's. I mean, he might oh, he touched his sleeve. Oh, my mistake. He touched his sleeve. So, let's see. Who made this slide? Blackman? All right, that's a 5-game suspension for the rest of the year. He touched his sleeve.
But did he do it with intent?
Yes, he did. You see he put his arms straight up the air. Hey, who knows? Maybe he was just doing some jazz hands for us, all right? But I don't like all these assumptions you're making, Ziegler. But, I mean, seriously, though, just... who cares? like, honestly, who cares? I guess, but from the play I've seen, it doesn't look like he is going to make the play anyway. So, let's just not care about this. Because... And the umpires declined to comment after the game. You could see the umpire watching it very closely. But, you know, part of the problem is MLB slide rules are so open to interpretation because, I mean, they kind of have to be. There's not much you could say where, oh, this is clearly a violation. Because this one was kind of in the middle, I think.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, just whatever. And Ziegler probably only said something because he was pitching, and he's upset the Diamondbacks aren't going to make the playoffs.
And it did cost them potentially,
No,
division.
It didn't. No, it didn't. No. Well, okay, they got eliminated, but they would have gotten eliminated anyway. They haven't even...
I wasn't sure how many games they were back when that happened.
I'm pretty sure they would have to, win every single game for the rest of the year. So, yeah, whatever. Alright. So, I also want to say congratulations to Matt Scherzer, who just had his 300th strikeout of the year.
Did he have 300 last year? Because I think he came really close, last year.
Let's see.
I'm looking up.
I don't think so.
He had 268.
Wow. Dude, 300? That's crazy.
300. When was the last time? And isn't,
last time someone did that was Sale last year.
Last year, yeah.
And then Kershaw did it in 15.
I thought Sale was going to do it this year, and then he got injured for a few weeks.
Yeah. Remember he struck out 12 Orioles in 5 innings? he could have set the strikeout record that game, for real. Just have him play the Orioles again. That'd be fun. All right. So, do you have anything to say before we finish up?
I think we covered everything we were going to talk about. Unless you want to... There is one thing, though, I want to say, that it is the anniversary of Jose Fernandez's death.
Yeah, it was, sad to see all the Marlins players, but I don't know. It's just a rough situation with everything that kind of happens because... now we know what happened more specifically.
Yeah.
But Jose is going to be missed in baseball with his personality. Well, not only his play, but, his personality.
Good personality. Yeah.
Yeah, which is something that's really missing from baseball right now, I think. Well, we hope you all enjoyed listening. If you're listening on YouTube, be sure to like the video and subscribe to the podcast channel. If you are listening on the Pinch Runner, good for you. And we'll see all of you guys in the next podcast.